So the Aruch HaShulchan just said that Moshe Rabbeinu had to stay on Har Sinai for 40 days and 40 nights to learn the Pirush, the Torah Shebal Peh, the understanding of Torah Shebachsav, and the Aruch HaShulchan continues. V'zeu HaMishnah VaTalmud, and this is the Mishnah and Talmud de Rabbeinu HaKadosh, Rabbeinu HaKadosh, Kishera Goydel HaPizer Me'am Yisrael, when he saw the fact that Klal Yisrael, the Jewish people, were spreading all over the world, Achar HaChorban, after the destruction of the Beis HaMikdash, Osaf Kol Chachmei Yisrael, he gathered all the Chachamim, all the wise people, V'hetiku Kol Echad V'echad HaMishnayos HaAtikois, and each one wrote down and published, his the Mishnayos that he remembered, that they had as a tradition from their Rebbe and their Rebbe from their Rebbe, until it went back to Moshe. And with this, Rabbeinu HaKadosh v'chaburosa kadishosa and his holy chabura delay chibru elu ashisha sidrei mishnah. From these rabbanim over the years, Rabbeinu HaKadosh gathered all the halachas into 6 sidarim of mishnayos. V'helum al sefer b'kitzer nimrutz, and he put them into a sefer which in very short language, because it was rak lezichron dvarim ba'alma. It was to help the future generations, remember and pass on. But it was just to like footnotes to help remember the whole idea, the whole shir, the whole idea, all the intricacies and details. And after them, all the chacham in the next generations, kol amalam, all their work was to understand the words of the previous generations of the Mishnayos, and that which was added through those me'ataisis from any additions over the time. Everything that they gathered from in that period of Mishnayos. That's what the Amoraim, the Gemara's time, that's what they did. Im ki kulam nirmazim b'mishnah. All of these things are mentioned in the Mishnayos. They all have to do with the Mishnayos. Omnam lav kol moicha savil. But not everybody understands the Mishnayos. Lahavinim, to really understand the mitich kitzurei Mishnayos. Not everybody can understand the entire idea based on the Mishnah alone. Ulezeh, and therefore bimei Ravina and Ravashi, v'chol chachmei Yisrael, and all the chacham shebimei in the times of Ravina and Ravashi, nigmar zeh Talmud HaGadol, they finished this massive Talmud v'Hakadosh. Ume'az ein lanu rishus lo ilahoyse lo legrei me'atalmud. And at this point, we also accept that we don't add or subtract from the Talmud. We accept the Ravina and Ravashi's completion of Talmud Bavli and Yerushalmi as another thing. Rak lahaven dvarav, we're only trying now to understand the words of the generations before us, of Gemara. Ve'ela heim Rashi Alfa Yisrael, and these are the heads of the Jewish people. Shayu achar zman chasimas Talmud, which occurred after the finishing of the Talmud. In other words, the next generation was Kol Ga'oinei Mizrach U'Mayrav. The Ga'oinim from the Mizrach and the Mayrav of the different areas of the world, Kol Amolam, their whole work was L'hoya L'havin Divrei Talmud, was just to understand the generations before them, to understand the Talmud. In other words, what really the Aruch HaShulchan is saying over here is, let's say the Ga'oinim did not go back to focus on the Mishnayos. They didn't think about them. They didn't try to add on new understandings to the Mishnayos. They just tried to add on more understanding onto the Gemara. And the Gemara people, the Hamayram, they only tried to understand the Mishnayos. They didn't try to understand the Psukim. Each generation accepted basically the generations before them as factual. V'chibru alav pirushim ram, and many other pirushim came after the times of the Ga'onim. V'toisus la pirushim, and additions to those understandings. V'zachinu sheneskabla b'chol tfusis Yisrael pirushei ora Torah, and we were Zaycha. The Aruch HaShulchan says that we accepted that the whole Klal Yisrael, basically the whole Jewish people, accepted a new enlightened Pirush explanation. HaMenorah HaTahira, pure lighting. Rashi Zal. This refers to Rashi, Mepnei Shehelen Pirushei. Now, the reason why everyone accepted Rashi is because he had an excellent pirush kol masha kil mirabosav, because he put in his pirush everything that he heard from his rebbeim. So, in other words, everything that Rashi wrote about was a tradition from the generation before, and that's why Rashi was so accepted, because we're all about, you see, this whole the whole understanding of Torah Shabbat is all based on the tradition from previous generations. We study the Talmud. We study, in other words, those before us that understood the generation before them, and we accept how they understood it. We were also zeichat Taisvus Hatzarfatim from the France area, because Taisvus, the reason why Taisvus became spread out everywhere is because they were great in number and wisdom. Mikol Chachmei Yisrael, from all the other Chachamim. Should be mayhem in those days. Ki shmainim bali toisus, because the bali toisus, not everybody knows this, but there were actually 80 bali toisus. Lamdu lefnei ari hachaya Rabbeinu Agadol Rabbeinu Tam. They all learned in front of the lion or Rabbeinu Tam. Zal kamashkosa betshuvas marshal. Veheim asu es Yam Talmud, and they made the Yam Talmud, the Kikadra. I'm sorry, they made the Talmud like a globe, like a ball. Veiru nesivoisav, and the what they brought was enlightening. Ubelade devreim, without their words, Rashi and Toysus Hakadoshim nimashesh, by we would be feeling around kasheyamashesh ho'ivra ba'afela, like the blind man searches around in the dark. So, Aruch HaShulchan just covered this time period from early the Psukim and the Moshe Rabbeinu and Al-Chamesh Sinai to the Mishnayos, to the Gemara, to the Ga'onim, to the Rishonim, and now he continues. Oid Haisifu Rabbeinu Chachmei HaTalmud Lichlol BaTalmud Harbe Min HaChachmos. The Rabbeinu, the Chacham in the Talmud, in the Gemara, also included in their Talmud many other Chachmos. They also put in Divrei Agada, Vidrashos, rabbis, and many drashos. They put in a lot of things which are the secrets of the world, like the creation of the world, or Maisa Merkava, and another hidden aspect of creation, Veshari Chachmos Philosophios, and other Chachmos of philosophy, Vitivios, and science. V'estirum Chazal b'divreim haniimim, and Chazal hid these words, these sweet words, lebli yiruchusus, that people shouldn't look out. In other words, people shouldn't fully understand these things. V'dibru b'mashal, they said a lot of things in a mashal, in a parable, v'chida, and in a riddle kind of way. Like a certain Gemara in Baba Basra, is another Gemara that's Nister that we don't really understand. For some in Boilam, and these are about philosophy. Me'atuna ir achachma, was a certain city Atuna be'eretz Yavan. V'chein kol mamorei Chazal, all the mamorim ba'agada that relate to agada, what we call agadata gemaras. Kachi darkam, this is their way. Not everybody can understand these things, easily. It's almost like somebody who sits in the dark for many days. When he comes out of the darkness, pisoim, suddenly, Laura Shemesh, and he comes out to the sun, Yisavruenav, he becomes blind. He can't stand so much light. And therefore Chazal covered over these words of Chachma, become malbushim in many different kinds of clothing. The whole Chacham leiv yidla ma'at, and any real Chacham will take a little bit from these Mayana Chachma, from these pieces of Chachma. Imuhagon v'roi, if he's befitting to understand it. Lekach. And if he's not befitting for it, it doesn't hold you back from actually learning and performing the mitzvahs. Anything that's negea lamaisa, anything that's practical halacha, they didn't hide that, and that they left open. So they only closed up the things that were not really noigei lemaisa. They weren't things that were essential to performing as a Jew, but they did leave out a lot of other things.